play of the game from way down.
Two, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastic gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maya up. It was gonna be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'll be your host tonight. My name is Arrow. Our teams are ready to go, so I'm just fixing up the title for the stream here. The West. And then we'll get into the draft here. I'm going to show you the maps while they're getting their first draft bands here. There we go. Copy that. Alright, so taking a quick look at the maps. The map that we're going to be going to is Tomb of the Spider Queen. It was the pick of ReGen Blue. And let's take a look at that here. So the map bans, as per usual, Braxis Holdout being banned out by Blue and Dragonshire as well. We've got Arrogant Nephalem. Going to go ahead and ban out Battlefield of Eternity and Cursed Hollow. And once again, our pick is Tomb of the Spider Queen. Right into the draft here. And out of the gate, we see the Anduin and Ana bans. And don't be surprised if we see a lot of A bans. A new Barak. We probably won't see an Abathur ban here, but it wouldn't surprise me on some of the other games. It seems like A heroes get a bad rap. And you know what? That's fair, because you know, if your name begins with A, it's because you're the best, right? That's how this works. Ah, Arcane, it's good to see you, buddy. Please pass along all of my love and well wishes for my good friend Fatlock. So, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's see here. So, Imperius being banned out. I don't know if that's a common ban or not. I don't think it... I mean, it certainly hasn't been in the games that I've been casting. Maiev also kind of seemingly not being banned out as often as I would expect, but is going to be banned out right here, right now. Myrna, that is the same question rolling around in my head. I picked up this cast and I was like, what am I thinking? I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. And now we're gonna see the Sylvanas being picked up first and insta-lock onto that Anubarak Tyrande. Can't talk about these heroes at all, guys, if you're locking them instantly like that, but that's okay. You do what you gotta do. Sylvanas gonna be a win harder hero, allowing them to push harder when they win the objectives. Also does quite a bit of hero damage these days, so a good pick early on in the draft. We also see then the Johanna and Stukov coming up. So Johanna getting those quick rotations with her Condemn. Stukov maybe able to help prevent Anubarak from burrowing out when he wants to get away. And who are we getting for this last band? So you got Stukov, Johanna, Sylvanas, Malthael. Maiev is a target band? Fair enough. Thanks, Arcane. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, you know what? That's fair. I mean, Imperius is a strong hero. He did get, you know, a little bit clipped, or not clipped, but adjusted, I guess would be a better way to say that, with those, with the patch here a couple weeks ago. And then we're going to see that Kael'thas ban. And that's okay. I mean, fairly small areas with the control points, the turn-in points, allowing Kael'thas value both in his gravity laps, narrow quarters, plus the living bomb. So what do we see out of blue here? The Chen. Along with the Hanzo. So we will see how this Chen works out. Quite a lengthy discussion yesterday about the Chen interaction with some other heroes. You know, Arcane, I don't have a dog in that fight. If you feel that it's a buff, then it's a buff. You know, because ultimately it allowed him to pick other heroes that maybe, not heroes, talents rather, that, you know, maybe weren't getting picked as much. So if that allows him to be more flexible in his talent selection, then yeah, sure, I can get behind that. It is a Chen Monkus. And we don't see any shield breaking talents on the side of Arrogant Nephalem. Fox coming out with that Alarak though. So a pretty tasty comp here. You know, to me, I feel like the Arrogant Nephalem draft is a little bit more close to your standard heroes. You take the Johanna to keep them from doing so into the Rainer. The Chen, like the Chen, that's not Stuka. Yeah. Chen Alarak combo, I feel like can just do crazy amounts of work. We'll see. So, I mean, they've got the potential to gather those gems quickly. The wave clear is going to be pretty significant, especially at 4 with Hanzo. Alarak can do pretty decent damage to the wave. We've got Chen in there, so a lot of potential on both these. Teams playing clean game. Yeah, time for Dak to flex Rexar. All right, well, let's see what we've got here. On the left side, we've got ReGen Blue in the blue color. I love it when it lines up like that. We've got Fox on Alarak, Jason on Tyrande, Mongoose on the Anubarak. Larson's going to be playing that Hanzo, and Chen is going to be played by Grendel. And for the Arrogant Nephalem, we have Trabe on Sylvanas, Null Pointer on Stukov, Segatai is going to be playing that Johanna, Dekilladin on Raynor, and Kime is going to be on Leoric. Trying to win through RNG. I think they win through color coordination. Isn't that how this works, right? If your name says that you're the color and you match that color, then you just insta-win? I don't know. So level 1 talents, we do have the ReGen Globe talent for Anubarak, the quest, well, I guess, yeah, that's a quest, for Chain the Lightning Surge from Alarak, and of course the Explosive Arrows from Hanzo. Shadow Dagger quest for Sylvanas. So getting a little bit of poke damage here as the solo laners down on the bot here. Chen v Leoric. Nice, easy target for Leoric to throw his drain life into, but of course, Chen has that mobility to be able to hop around, maybe even break that life drain. Burrow charge in, the pullback onto the Stukov. Not quite enough damage to get the kill, and Raynor now throwing those bullets right into Fox and Mongoose, bringing them down here and continuing that rotation. Back in the bot lane, we have our and we see a quest completion on that Lightning Surge for Alarak. That's going to be a nice big boost for him. Getting that follow-up stun from Lunara. So level 2 for both teams. Red team, Arrogant Nephalem a little bit ahead. But ultimately, with this big wave here in front of Chen, that looks like it should equal out roughly when that's cleared. Neither team going for the camps just yet, and there's that silence I mentioned earlier. You know, puts Anubarak in a spot where he cannot burrow away. So we'll see if that becomes a problem later. And once again, popping off these rotations, Hanzo coming in, trying to get those hits for his level 1 quest, is done with one of those. And interestingly enough, the Chen wave clear. A little bit behind Lior. Kime dropping in 10. And with that pressure, they're going to go ahead and get back here on their camp. Oh, son of a gun, guys. Well, good kill. So anyways, they're going to get over to this camp. And ReGen Blue taking advantage of the heroes stepping back and getting that kill. Grendel versus Kime in the bot lane. Little bit of structure damage. Not a lot, but ultimately every little bit helps, especially when these web weavers come out. And now working on the top lane, getting a little bit of damage on that wall. And burrow charge away. 4 versus 3 up in the top is Raynor with the camp here. Clearing out that wave. Leaving a few gems on the table. Looks like Segatai got at least 2 of them, I think. And now ReGen Blue looking to clear up this camp. And I'd like to see if they can. I mean, this is the opportunity for them to try to get that turn. They have the pressure in the mid lane, which of course they're getting slowed down because of the Hanzo. Johanna going to pop that Iron Skin to make sure that the Lunar Flare does not land. Let's take a look at these level 4 talents. So we do have that Possession from Sylvanas. The additional damage from the Blind on Johanna. Behemoth Armor for Raynor. And of course the stacks on Lightning Surge for Alarak. So now they're trying to turn in after the Web Weavers are dead. ReGen Blue coming in saying, not today. Welcome, random viewer. Do we have a random viewer? Ah, indeed. Welcome, Secret3332. Glad that you could join us. This is a live cast between 2 Division B, West specifically, teams in the Nexus Gaming Series. An amateur league of Heroes of the Storm players. Ranging in skill from fantastic to maybe not so great. Larson jumping over that wall, manages to just barely get away. Here comes Anubrak diving in, the pullback onto Dekilidin, but not enough damage there to get that kill. Larson a little bit low coming in there to try to get some poke in, but he's going to back away now. And we do get some Web Weaver action now from the arrogant Nephalem, as Segatai got quite a hefty amount of gems turned in there. So here we go. 3 lanes of Web Weavers coming up. We see 4 of the Nephalem up in the top lane, looking to get this pressure. Alarak in rather deep there, uses that telekinesis to get himself away, but takes quite a bit of damage. Web Weaver in the mid lane is about halfway, so they have a few moments here of relief, but Jason and Fox electing to go ahead and just stand in that wave, taking that free damage. But Tyrande gets those health bars right back up. And 4 versus 4 here. Web Weaver's still at about 2/3. The wall is down. Oh, the telekinesis pulling in, but Fox getting silenced by that Stukov is going to go down. And Magus in danger here. I think he used his burrow charge in. That is quite a bit of gems that they just lost, as well as the top fort. And with that, Grendel already cleared out the bottom Web Weaver, but this mid Web Weaver did get the wall, and Segatai coming in, trying to make sure that they get as much damage onto the structure as possible. Every time I see that, what is it, Pog or something, I always think that that's somebody sleeping. I don't, Craigasm or something like that. Like, to me that looks like somebody sleeping, and it's got pretty much the exact opposite meaning. So we do still have this wave up here in the top. It's a little bit of XP soak that Blue is not going to get there. Instead, trying to get a fight before Arrogant Nephalem gets to 20. Kime in there behind Grendel, but he's going to hop right on over the Skeleton Lord. Let's see, who do we want to follow? We'll check in on Chen and Leoric. Checking in on these talents here. Level 7s arrived, of course, a little while ago, but level 10's coming online. We've got the Blessed Shield from Johanna, Flailing Swipe, Entomb, Wailing Arrow, and whatever Raynor selects. sure that it's going to be a good one. So picking up this soak in the top lane, as I mentioned earlier. One more wave of that coming in as level 10's now available for ReGen Blue. We've got the Cocoon, Shadow Stock, Dragon's Arrow, Storm Earth and Fire, and Deadly Charge. And it is going to be the Rainer's Raider out of Rainer. Fair enough. The stun's coming out. There goes the Cocoon onto Stukov. Ripping all kinds of ults here. Nobody dying. Not even really that close to dying. I believe Storm Earth and Fire was, yeah, Storm Earth and Fire was used down here as well. So 4 ultimates used by ReGen Blue. Ultimately, no kills, but up here in the middle, there's the silence going out. Alarak's in danger. Fox might be able to, nope. Can't quite make it away from the Rainer and Sylvanas damage. And that silence doing some work, making sure that the Alarak cannot use telekinesis to get away or use other abilities just as a counter to use a silence or even a slow out of that lightning surge. Yeah, and Mongoose here able to get out of the silence, ultimately burrows back, taking a lot of damage from that Rainer as well. All right. Webweaver's coming up for the red team once again. Second Webweaver phase. I don't want to say in a row. I mean, technically it's in a row because they got the last one. But it's been a little while since we've seen one. Had some pressure, pushed back. But Sylvanas able to clear this lane very quickly. We'll get that Webweaver to start pushing in the top. And Arrogant Nephalem coming into the mid lane. They've got a full health Webweaver here and almost no health for it. There's the charge in, doesn't hit, but the Dragon's Arrow does hit onto the Rainer. Stukov goes into the Cocoon, and Nubrak just not quite able to get up and get the lockdown required to get that Rainer kill. Brindle in the bottom, important note, has 48 gems. I don't know exactly where they stand, but that's almost enough for them to get their first Webweaver if he can get that turned in at some point. But in the top lane, that Webweaver has arrived. Once again, Jason and Larson taking that free Webweaver damage, but there's that burrow charge from Anubrak, getting the stun onto Rainer, but there's just no follow-up. They're all too far behind to be able to get that kill, with the exception of Fox. Larson and Jason, a little bit lower in the health, have to be a little bit more careful about their positioning and not able to cross the Webweaver and significant wave of minions to be able to get that kill. That is true. That is true. Dead Alarak gets no DPS boost. Let's take a look at 13s here. Quick pop-up for you there. We do see the damage reduction penalty thing coming out of Lee Oric. And oh, what are these? Blessed Hammers. There we go. Words are hard at this late stage of the day. Yeah, definitely not quite getting the coordination that they need to get these kills, right? As we can see, 3 forts now down for ReGen Blue as they come in to try to get a turn in here. Kime, of course, right here, paying attention, has the Entomb but doesn't have the team and is going to go down quickly. Storm Earth and Fire popped and look at the damage going out onto the red health bars here, but the silence is coming out, keeping them alive. Trade very low, but is going to get the Stukov... I don't remember, the D. Getting the Stukov D, keeping him alive. And now this should be a turn-in for ReGen Blue, and it is. Their bot lane is pushed back pretty far. They've got an equal pressure in the mid lane with these camps, and also up here in the top lane, a little bit of pressure with the catapults. And they're going to go ahead and come up here, clean this up, and get some counter push in this top lane, which is where they need it. Indeed, the 1 versus 5 bush gank, and it went exactly as you expected it to. Segatai coming up here, has the blind, throws that out, gets some damage onto those minions, especially to clear those out. The telekinesis and burrow charge in onto the Rainer, but again, not quite able to get there. Jason in trouble here, very low with the damage coming out from the Blessed Shield just went out, but I was going to say from the Johanna. Entomb doesn't hit anybody, but does cause some consternation in the disengage there. Grendel coming around the wall to try to get some value here. Mongoose diving in, not able to hit anybody. There goes the Dragon's Arrow. Hits both of the front line, but again, they're not able to get these conversions other than the one kill that they got onto that Leoric, and that was a little bit of a gift. But instead, it's going to be the Beetle going down. All right. So top lane, they got about half of the wall because they did get a little damage earlier. About the same in mid. Most of the value coming out of the damage in the bot lane, which is fairly common when most teams go into that top lane to keep the pressure going, get the walls down, maybe get that fort down, and ultimately pick up this boss at some point, hopefully with a turn-in, which nets you a nice, easy kill. Yeah, basically the Chen provides you with the potential to blow up, say, a Sylvanas or a Stukov potentially, but it's rough with the Stukov silence here. And Johanna coming in very aggressively, looking to get in onto this team with these 16 talents available. There's the Entomb onto Anubra. Cannot burrow charge away into the silence. So even if he had it, he couldn't. And there's another 25-ish gems being dropped from ReGen Blue as Dekilidin getting the kill onto Larson. That Hanzo finding his way back into the Nexus Graveyard. And with this Sylvanas mentioned at the very beginning, the win harder trait, allowing them to take down that top keep. Grendel in the middle trying to get some soak, but now that they're pushing onto the core, has to come back to try to mount some kind of defense against this. Let's zoom out a little bit here. The silence going out onto the stairwell to keep them at least locked down a bit. Raynor is getting silenced and goes down 82% on the core. There's the Entomb, but the deadly charge in onto Kime. Kime's about half health, and Chen leading the charge into the backline, trying to keep them slowed, get some damage out there. Blessed Shield helps with the disengage, but it's going to be Leoric going down anyway. And the Impale does manage to hit onto the Stukov. If they can keep him slowed, this could be another kill. There's the Dragon Arrow. Does stall him, and this is a nice, easy 30 seconds, 20 seconds for ReGen Blue to do something, but they still have a Web Weaver on their core. There are 2 catapults here, so the shield's going to go down. They're definitely going to take some core damage. Up here, we've got Kime making sure that he keeps his team apprised of the situation with the boss. Grendel stopping in the middle. Definitely misplay there, as the ping's going out to make sure that they get onto the catapults, as 38%, I think it was, actually, I think they got a full 40% of core value out of those 2 catapults. So well done on ReGen Blue to get those 3 kills, stop the game from ending there. And now Segatai coming in on Johanna. A little bit easier for Segatai, I think, to make that stall and make it out. Let's take a look at these level 16 talents, and by easier I meant than the Leoric that got killed earlier. There goes the Blessed Shield though, and now here comes the Telekinesis, missing with the Discord Strike. Silence coming out from Stukov, but there's that short range Dragon's Arrow, as we do have blue Web Weavers coming out now. Storm of the Fire popped. Look at the big root coming out. But ultimately, Sylvanas popping the Will of the Forsaken to get out of there, as well as the Wraithwalk from Leoric. So health bars on the red team a little bit low, getting out of dodge, saying, you know what, we don't need to lose this game here. We can back away. We have a wall. We have a keep. Let's get fresh and deal with this push as it comes into us. Most of the ultimates are down for ReGen Blue, as are the ultimates for Arrogant Nephalem. Burrow charge into the silence though, so doesn't have the ability to get the Impale. Tries to get it off there by the wall, but is gonna get taken down by the Raynor. Raynor just doing so much damage to that bug. And ReGen Blue in a little bit of a tough spot now. Their camp, the camp of Arrogant Nephalem, clearing them out in the mid lane. Fox in danger here, because if that Entomb comes out, that is a dead Alarak. But looks like they're just able to get away. And now it looks like they're going to try to grab that. Oh, blessed shield missing. Another skin of their teeth moment there for ReGen Blue. Level 20 is coming up for Arrogant Nephalem soon, so they're going to get down here and take this point. Take this bruiser camp. Trying to catch up on chat. You guys are rather active tonight, so I'm only able to catch some of it. So here we go. Level 20 is online. We see them getting picked. We've got the execute. Oh, there's the Entomb buried alive onto Alarak. He can't do anything. Burrow charge in. The cocoon going out onto Leoric. Look at that health bar. It is Sylvanas that goes down. The burst coming from Chen, able to take her out. Leoric wraith walking away. Burrow charge in again. But there's shit on the core. The camp is going to take out that keep. They're going to have to go back and deal with that very soon. If they can get another kill onto this Leoric, it helps them out immensely, but they have to be really careful. I thought it was actually on the core. I'm sorry. That was just on the keep. But they still have a problem here as many catapults coming in the top lane. It looks like Chen's going to go and take care of that. 54 gems for ReGen Blue. Most of them on Chen. So we'll see. Oh, that feels bad. The catapult interrupting Larson on his turn in. So they don't quite have enough gems, although Chen should have enough here now, right? Well, Chen has 29, so they need him to get one more so they can get that turn. But almost everybody is up for Arrogant Nephalem. So I think if you're ReGen Blue, you try to get the 20, you try to turn in with that 20. That's the absolute best circumstance you can possibly have with these web weavers. And there they go. They've got the 20 upgraded Storm with Fire. We've got the rewind out of a Nubarak. Is that last laugh? It sure is. Alarak going deep. Wants to make sure that we get these kills. We'll see how that turns out. Is this the Frost Arrows? Ice Blade Arrows, rather? And then, of course, the play of the game for Hanzo. Giving him a global. Chen heading back. Not entirely sure what that was about. I'm sure there was a reason. I wasn't looking. All right, guys. So this is a potential for a keep. Probably can get that middle for it. So the potential is here, but they've got to get somebody killed. We do have a Nubarak Cocoon available. In fact, all the ults are available on both sides. They have to be careful of the Entomb. Buried Alive will end the game, potentially. Getting a little bit close there between Grendel and Fox. Oh, and that was super close. That could have been it right there for them, but the Entomb misses, so they've got a few moments on that. Rainer's Raider did get killed, so technically two ultimates gone. And they're staying in this lane, trying to get whatever value they can out of that mid-web weaver. And maybe even get this well. Looks like Johanna popping that well, trying to make sure she can stay in this fight since the well is now gone. And ReGen Blue a little bit, well, I was going to say they were going to go on the defensive, but there's the rewind coming out. Kime in danger, may go down. Cocoon goes out onto Raynor. It is the kill onto Leoric. Trying to call for pings onto the Raynor to keep him alive, but the Lunar Flare catches him. A second kill for ReGen Blue, and the silence going out onto the Pandas, but Pandas have apparently 9 lives, and so he's right back at full health. This is definitely a keep, and we'll see what they elect to do after this keep goes down with only the Sylvanas as damage. But Leoric's coming up in 10 seconds, Raynor 40 seconds. They're gonna go for the boss, it looks like. Chen's going to Hearth, clean up in the bot lane, and hopefully he gets back in enough time to provide the additional pressure they need. So this is a 4v4 now in the top lane, and they know Chen is here. This is no longer a good play for them. And here comes Leoric scouting it out. Realizes that they are setting up a bush gank there. And the Burrow charge in keeps him locked down for just a brief moment. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game. This is anybody's game at this point. No Chen for ReGen Blue in this fight. No Raynor for Arrogant Nephalem. I don't know which of them is at a disadvantage more with the one fewer hero. One less? One fewer? Whatever. It's midnight. I don't care what. I don't care about grammar. But Chen's still in the bot lane, and now Raynor is coming in, so they really cannot... ReGen Blue cannot afford to just accept this fight. They need to disengage this. Oh, the Entomb once again misses. But so does play of the game. Big burrow charge in. Chen still very far away. Cocoon out onto the Raynor. Wraith walk away, but look at this. We get the silence onto Johanna. Knockback coming out of the Stukov, and here comes Storm, Earth, and Fire trying to get onto Stukov. Does get him rooted. Does get the kill. No healer for Arrogant Nephalem, and Segatai trying to slow this game down. And Leoric gonna go down. It looks very, very good for ReGen Blue right now, as they're gonna walk away and go get the boss. And that's probably the safe play, with even though they've got no healer, they have no Leoric, they do have Raynor, they do have Sylvanas, and Johanna. Johanna can hang out for long enough for the Raynor and Sylvanas to get value. So we'll see if they're looking to turn in, so that's going to give them some counter pressure against the boss, and it's going to give them the pressure in this bot lane right into the core. So if this fight doesn't actually take place, I guess we'll see. So this is an all-in call if ReGen Blue fights this, because they can't afford to leave that web weaver on their core. They only have 40%. All 5 members of Arrogant Nephalem are up. Chen went back to clean up this bot lane to make sure that they don't just straight up lose to that. So the boss is going to get cleared by Arrogant Nephalem, and now ReGen Blue is going to take this opportunity to clear the web weavers largely for free. So with that, we are equal on structures. We are not equal on core health. And Raynor does additional damage to targets under 50% health. This core has 42%. So we shall see here as the web weavers go down. Last couple of fights have been pretty well in favor of ReGen Blue. Getting the kill onto the Stukov was absolutely monumental in that last fight. But we'll see at this point. We've only got camps. We've got lane pressure very much in favor of Arrogant Nephalem. Let's zoom out a little bit here. If you're watching on your phone in this widescreen format, I apologize that we just zoomed out and you can't see a whole lot, but setting up a bush gank, and there's Tyrande. I don't know if that quite scouts that bush or not. It didn't show the eyeball over Segatai, so I'm guessing probably not. Raynor there getting brought down about half for free. And Arrogant Nephalem looking to get a little bit of poke damage onto this fort, onto this keep. Both teams very much alive. 26 minutes into the game. It does, yes. Let's take a look at those talents again. And Tomb at level 20, buried alive, is giving them that silence. Oh, and by the way, it also apparently does some damage. I didn't even realize that. We've got the execute from Raynor, getting him the increased attack speed as well as the additional damage to targets that are low health. And of course, we've seen Anubrak below 50% a lot this game, taking a lot of damage between the Sylvanas and the Raynor. Big damage. We have the upgrade. You know what? What is the upgrade to Storm, Earth, and Fire? Additional health. And apparently they get upgraded abilities. Alright, so Segatai getting the stall there, as ReGen Blue does have enough gems to turn in. They don't quite get all of them turned in. We need Chen to turn in to get that. And it looks like they're going to get that turn in. That's going to stall out the bot lane pressure. Both teams here fighting in the mid lane. Top lane is pretty well pushed up. Mid lane is pretty well pushed up. This could be a pretty significant problem for Arrogant Nephalem. They're gonna have to make a fight happen and get some deaths pretty quickly, or these web weavers will end the game for them. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. One way or the other, this is gonna be the end of the game. What do we got here, folks? What's going on? What are we doing? Web Weaver is getting cleared pretty quickly there. And Nubarak getting brought down already to half with that 25 armor penalty. And Blue is going to go ahead and disengage, it looks like. Pull back a little bit, as now the second Web Weaver showing up to the party, already at half health, as it took a while to get here. And Segtai pushing in onto Grendel. No core damage yet. A pretty strong defense coming out from Arrogant Nephalem as the third Web Weaver cleared up in the bot lane, thanks to those catapults. Apparently I did. My bad. My bad. What was I talking about? I thought that was the end of the game. We'll be here. You know what? We have nothing better to do. 29 minutes into this Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Boss in 3 seconds. Bottom siege camp is available now. I think ReGen Blue was probably heading to that bottom siege camp, and then they realized, you know what, Boss is available. We can't just leave that unguarded. And there goes the Tyrande Owl. So Arrogant Nephalem's gonna know that they're doing this. The calls to pull back here coming out from ReGen Blue. And Johanna taking a fair bit of damage. Leoric goes into the cocoon. It's pretty much instantly removed by Raynor. And there's the two-man silence in, well, one of them's Chen, in the Entomb, as Anubarak trying to get away. Grendel going in deep, trying to get that damage. Kime is in a little bit of trouble. If they can get the kill there, they do. And all of a sudden now, ReGen Blue pushing into Arrogant Nephalem as they got the 1 kill. And now they're going to go back and get the boss. And if you know what, if you're Arrogant Nephalem, this is a fight I think you kind of have to take. Maybe not immediately. Maybe keep that Leoric up in the vision and then find your moment. Vision coming up, so they're going to be seen. How is it going to go down? ReGen Blue leashing the boss, coming out. Iron Skin popped by Johanna. And ultimate's missing. Johanna's gonna get silenced, pops the indestructible. That's about to go away, and she's going to go down. Impale hits the Stukov. There's the buried alive, though. Anubarak in danger, and he's gonna go down. Grendel very low as well. Raynor's Raider keeping him in combat. And ultimately, Leoric takes him out. The Dragon's Arrow hitting 4 allows for the disengage, but ReGen Blue losing 2. And only the 1 down for Arrogant Nephalem. And with that, they're going to go ahead and march their way up to the boss. And if they get this boss, I don't know that ReGen Blue has enough damage to kill it before it can take out the core with a 4-man push, especially with that Raynor. Oh, Chad, it's so... Oh, there's the pull-in. Silence. Half-health Kime. Are they pulling it back? They are not pulling it back. They're not leashing it. No Pointer very low. Is trying to stay close enough to get onto the point. It looks like they will get that. And the Buried Alive going out hits the Alarak. Could... he pops that last laugh, tries to use those abilities, but unfortunately gets taken out. And we do have a Nubarak. We do have Chen coming up. They'll be up by the time this boss gets to the base. But I don't know that they can defend it at this point. Loads of damage onto Sylvanas. Can they get the kill? They do! Maybe the counter defense pressure that they need. 32 minutes into this game, though, and this boss is going to do boatloads of damage to this core. We've got the Storm, Earth, and Fire coming out, trying to get the kill onto Dekiladin. They need that kill. 30%. The core is going down. 7%. And the game going over to Arrogant Nephalem. What a game! Holy cow! And look at that, 16 kills to 10. 1 kill per 2 minutes for ReGen Blue. Less 1 kill per 3 minutes for Arrogant Nephalem. Taking a look at the talents here, which we showed a few times, but just as a reminder, can you believe it? By the way, Murda, I completely missed that, but thank you very much for the bits. I do appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. Whew. All right. That was crazy. Welcome back. Chat, how you feeling tonight? How are you? 30 people out there enjoying this game? I know, 32 minutes on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Somebody win this game. That is, I agree with that, Monkus. That was either team's game. Ultimately, it was very close. Either team could have won it. It ultimately went in the hands of Arrogant Nephalem. Right, Murda? Can they? Is that a thing? Let's go ahead and update that win for Arrogant Nephalem. Bam. Show up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. The only thing I can think of is that they felt that the damage potential coming out of the Sylvanas and Raynor was high enough that it could have killed an important member of their team. And the damage from Sylvanas, Raynor, and then Johanna to kind of act as that front line that they need for that. They do a lot of damage, and that Anubarak could find himself dead really fast, and did a couple of times. And if you're not paying attention to the Leoric timer, the Entomb comes out, and all of a sudden you're 4 versus 3 or 5 versus 3, whatever it was at that time, turns into just a dead team. And no heroes allowed to hit the core. Oh my goodness, that would be ban Ragnaros early. Let's see, chat. What are we talking about here? P-Man, attacking the core is an immediate forfeit. You cannot do it. So we do have a brief moment as Trabe from Arrogant Nephalem did need to restart their PC. Let's see if we can find out from Mongoose where we're going, or if they want first pick. Shall we? Mongoose. Find out what's next in the Nexus. Hey, do I have any dogs around? Alice, you want to get on stream? All right, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'll bring Alice up for all of you. Come on. Come on. There you go. Say hi to everybody at home. Hey, over here. Hey, look up. Look over there. Look over there. Say hi. Hello, everybody. Oh man, and now Alpha's here. Let's see. I haven't heard yet. Please do. So that was Alice officially, and that's Alice's voice. And you know what? We'll bring in the live doggo who can get up on the desk because she's small enough. Go away. You have had your fun. Yeah, I mean, we've got nothing better to do. We're waiting on somebody to restart, and ReGen Blue has not yet told me what they want to do as far as a map or first pick. Just did here 1 second, so we'll see that. Thank you very much, Antius J7 for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. You know what? Alice would rip the core. She would be all over that, I guarantee it. Much appreciated. I'm glad that you're enjoying the doggo stream. I would pick up Al, but he's big, and he doesn't do the standing thing. So that simply will not work. What do you think, huh? What do you think ReGen should do? Do you think that they should take a map, or do you think they should go first pick, huh? Let's see what we had there. In that last game, that map was picked by ReGen Blue. Get her a core plushie? A core, like, do they make core plushies? I don't know. What do you think, Alpha? What do you think about a core plushie? Oh my goodness. See if I can show you guys this. So there's I go to a juice bar for meal prep basically every day, and they just got a new puppy, like 6 weeks old roughly, and this puppy is it's a pit bull puppy. They named him Juice, and he's abso-freaking-lutely adorable. I don't know how clear that is, but that is little Juice at the juice bar. Show that one too. Little Juice, quite the puppy. I'm looking forward to taking Alpha over there because he's about her size and giving them the chance to say hello. Alrighty. Gonna have to lay down the smack on this NGS board member, as we're definitely beyond our 2-minute window. Alice has a thing that she likes to do. You know what? We got time. We got time. We have nothing better to do. Oh, okay. So ReGen Blue is going to take first pick. Let's see. Let me know where we're going, and have Mongoose create, please. So you're on the right side. No, correct. All right. Take your nudes. What? What? I suppose it was a nude dog. Hey, stay. Stay. Alice, come here. All right. Come here, Alice. Come here. Come here. I know you. 1 second. This is going to take just 1 second. Come here. Going up. Come on. Hey, that's enough. Up. Come on. Up. Up. Oh my god, you're not doing it? Alright, never mind. She's not doing it. Oh god. You ready? Jump. Come on, jump. Yeah. Alright, there we go. And I have no headset. Alright, now we've got 2 doggos on stream. Welcome. Teams get a 15-minute time pool. That is true. That is true. Hey, really? Say hello to everybody. Look up. She doesn't like to, well, she's not used to being in the chair. So, let's see. How long have we been chilling out here? A few minutes. Yup, almost done, I hear from, there we go. All right. Hey, can you get down? I gotta do this, okay? Here. There you go. Hey, chill. A little bit of aggression over some dog toys. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we know where we're going. This next map pick is going to be the choice of Arrogant Nephalem. And you might be able to guess where the Arrogant Nephalem of the Diablo world might like to go. Guys, is that your prediction? Yeah, I agree. We are going to Infernal Shrines. Hey. Alright, so, what are they doing? Why did they make me host? Sorry, I had to make sure that everybody knew that I was busy talking to you fine people. Oh, I'm not even on the page anymore. Isn't it though? So that's so I got that one from going to the opening event. However, I have to say, this one definitely my favorite. This was from the Endgame re-release, I guess. Pick something new. Spider Queen and Infer. Sorry. Alright. Do we need to switch sides? Yes, please. Blue on left. What have we got going on over here? People have some shrines and some Spider Queen. Yeah, that's true. You know what? We may see Braxis soon enough with the changes coming in a couple weeks. When the new hero comes out. You know what? Hey, anybody remember what those last bans were? I've got the first and second one written down, but I forgot to write down the third ones for each team. So if anybody happens to remember what those were, that would be great. I suppose I could even just look back in the video. How about Alterac? The new Braxis changes sound really interesting because they're gonna have the Guardians and the I don't remember whatever the name of the other one is. Basically, they're gonna spawn additional minions, so your lava wave and all that crap doesn't just instantly wipe it out. Team ban Tomb and Shrines. What do we got? First pick team 1. Looks correct. Please. Everything looks ready. You know what? I'm going to let them know that we're ready. We're ready on our side as well. Push. Chat, are you guys ready? I think the teams are ready. I think we're going to get this started. Oh, it happened. We're going to go into the draft. So you can stop looking at my artwork. By the way, the rest of this is all BlizzCon stuff. That's BlizzCon from, I think, 3 years ago. That's actually the first BlizzCon that they had it. That one is BlizzCon, and then there's one actually right over here that you guys can't see that's also BlizzCon. I try to switch it up. Pay attention sometime. I switch some of these around a little bit. Oh, and that's Orphea. But that's it. We're going into the draft. Here we go. I don't know that that's necessarily true, Monkus. I don't know that it's not, but I would think that it wouldn't clear it outright. The bigger Zerg minions, I think, would still survive. It's really mostly just the little ones that Lava Wave and Planet Cracker eliminated, right? I've been to every BlizzCon since 2011. But there wasn't one in 2012. So, there you go. Anubarak, Stukov, Anduin, and Sylvanas being banned out. Gonna get the Ana right away. Oops. I'm writing down the wrong things. Anubarak, Stukov, Anduin, and Sylvanas. Alright, so we don't see the Imperius ban this round, so we'll see if Imperius or Maiev make it through. There you go. They did drop the health of those minions, yeah, on Braxis. So we'll see. I don't know. Like, Lava Wave gets rid of a lot of the current version, but the new one may not. Samuro game for Fox, you think? Hasn't selected it yet. So far, we've got the Kael'thas Maiev, a pretty brutal combo if you can get that Warden's Cage and then start throwing living bombs out. than the Hanzo and Malthael there. So a little bit of a different setup. I'm not surprised to see the ETC ban. That's a hero that Mongoose likes to play and has been pretty well known for doing such. What else? Combos well. So we already had the Stukov ban. I could see, you know, frankly, I could see even a Tyrael. That doesn't work out a lot. We do see the Leoric ban instead, which I think is completely fine. That would provide some good setup, gives them a lot of potential with that combo as well. So I'm okay with that 100%. Fail. Jason on the Ana. I would ban Diablo. You know what? Yeah, I was gonna say Diablo's not a bad idea either. Yeah. I don't know. Blaze and Uther. So we've got a solo-ish tank Blaze. We've got a double support. This is interesting. Is Fox gonna play Uther? Are they gonna make me move shit around? I bet they are. And we get the Dahaka for Kime as the final part of this draft. It's a very strong, you know, I feel like the draft of ReGen Nephalem fits more what I would like to see. But there's enough of a CC chain coming out of ReGen Blue that, I don't know, they can make that work. Get a CC, like a Divine Storm, Nano Boosted Malthael, Hanzo ult. You've got the jet propulsion. This could be a lot of pain coming out from ReGen Blue. Catching up on chat here. Yeah, we've definitely seen, you know, Alexstrasza has picked into Ana's before. It is not necessarily the most common or ideal scenario, so we'll see how that turns out for them. I'm excited. Let's see what we get. All right, so let's start with the red team this time. Our champions of game number 1. Diablo going to be played by Segatai. Kime on the Dahaka. Dakilidin on Maiev. Null Pointer is going to be on Alexstrasza, and Trabe on Kael'thas. For ReGen Blue, we've got Grendel on Malthael. Larson on Hanzo. Fox going to be playing the Uther. Mongoose on Blaze. And Jason on Ana. Pop up these talents. We've got that hammer, the Lightbringer. We got the shield talent. What's the name of that one? I never remember. Endurance Stimpack for Blaze, giving him that instant shield. Hanzo's going explosive arrows. Interesting. We do not see the Pale Horse. Have to see how that turns out. On the other side, we've got the Mana Addict, of course, the Q build for Alexstrasza, which is probably the better option considering the Ana. Devil's Due, what's this one? Tissue Regeneration, and Naishas. So there you go. Blaze stalling out these rotations, just not even a little bit, because I don't think he caught anybody, but he was trying to. It was going to happen. Pull in onto Mongoose, but it's going to be the hammer onto Dakilidin. Locks him down for a little bit there, able to get a little bit of damage, and not quite able to kill him, but just a quick reminder that they're there. What do we got here? We can pretend this is Blaze main tank mage. Mega? Meta? Is that what we're going for? Secret? Meta? I don't know. Malthael v Dahaka in the top lane. Solo lane is really just a lot of fun, right? You get to see all these wonderful things going on. And ReGen Blue coming in onto their camp, but Segatai coming in, he does get stunned by Uther, charged away though. Fox electing to run with the pull rather than to get pulled back into the team there. And healing grenade going out gives Alex Straza the opportunity to pop that W and heal up her team, and it looks like they're going to come right back in. They see that Uther's not there. Mongoose using that oil to provide that slow, giving a little bit of zone, and they do get that siege camp. Charge in onto Mongoose. Segatai just reminding him that he's the Lord of Terror. Hey, you know what? I'm not saying anything's wrong with these solo laners up here. They're doing good work. What else we got going on here? Level 4's online, and the charge in. Trabe in a bit of trouble. Kale Foss is just fine. Fox, however, deep in, has the living bomb, is able to get away. So no kills yet. 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the game, we've got the first Punisher coming up. It's an Arcane Punisher, and with that, ReGen Blue is gonna get onto their Shaman camp. But Arrogant Nephalem saying, hey, you know what, we're not gonna get on this right away. We'll go ahead and come down here and get this camp. Segatai calling, saying, hey, I'm Diablo, guys. I don't have exactly the greatest ability at clearing lanes and clearing waves. Sega UZ. All right, Jason checking one bush. Was kind of in an awkward spot there. I think Kime could have made a play for that. Ana. Is he a friend? Is who a friend? Throws up in mouth. Oh god, what's the level 4 for Malthel? Oh, gotcha. The increase. Yeah, I'm assuming that this is going to be the Tormented Souls I mentioned earlier. I feel like that's the plan here. Go, you know, big Divine Storm and stun them all over the place and get those that percent damage going out. And we do see Kime getting stunned to kill it and trying to come in for a tether. All kinds of looping around on Mongoose as the big Kael'thas Flame Strike doing work in the back. 29 to 22. Dragon is almost out, so expect ReGen Blue to come back into this, but Malthale went to soak lanes maybe a little bit too early there. The jet propulsion and does hit 3, and Uther getting caught by, I think, the tongue, but it didn't really look like it, but it did show stunned. I don't know. 39 to 35, probably going over to the red team, and it is. And I think that was probably it was too bad. I think Grendel maybe cost them that point. Maybe not, but maybe. Level 7's available. We do see Blaze baiting the Punisher over the wall, and again, it's an Arcane Punisher. These were nerfed down a little bit, so much so that they don't even care about standing in the lasers. You'll love to see it. Just taking that damage. Look at how little damage those lasers do to those heroes. And now, Arrogant Nephalem pinging for the camp, calling that they're going to be there. Null Pointer leading the charge on the Dragon Queen. And Kime making his way down to the bot lane. Catching this soak. And an interesting oil slick there for Blaze. Level 7's online now for ReGen Blue. Both teams equal in talents, if not levels and structures. A Mana Addict achieved for Kael'thas. 4-man rotation up to the top lane, coming in with the Shaman camp, and they're going to push in on this fort. I don't think there's a whole lot that Blue can do about it. So instead, they're going to get the first kill onto Dahaka in the mid lane. It's twice now I think I've missed First Blood. And now, ReGen Blue coming in on the aggressive camp here as Grendel gonna clear this. Here comes Arrogant Nephalem. I have a pretty good idea that they are here, and just in the nick of time, ReGen Blue escapes. Leave all the wells up. All right, so Diablo coming into the bot lane here, gonna check out this bottom camp. Finds that nobody is here. which gives them probably a pretty good idea of where ReGen Blue is on that camp. And they're going to elect to head to the middle, soak that lane. Bot lane, we've got the camp once again, as Diablo holding that lane, keeping them pressed far enough away. Yeah, there wasn't really a lot that Blue could have done about that. I don't know that they got the best value that they could have, necessarily, getting just the camp. They're starting to get some damage on that wall, but now ReGen Nephalem is pushing in here. So level 10s available for both teams. We do have the Cleansing Flame, the Warden's Cage, the Isolation, Apocalypse. I expect to see a... Well, I guess I could see it either way, but probably a Flame Strike since we do have the Bunker out of Blaze. Divine Shield, Dragon's Arrow, Nano Boost. So I guess they feel the Divine Shield is more valuable than setting up that kind of CC chain stun with the Uther Blaze Hanzo. And it is going to be that Tormented Souls. So expect to see the D Shield, Tormented Souls, Nano Boost combination. I don't know. I think I would have liked to see the D Shield. Is it the right call? Hell if I know. But here we go. 5 versus 5 in the middle. This is a Frozen Punisher, tongue missing. And Diablo all by himself there is taking some of that percent-based damage. But Malthael in trouble there. Does get the Nano Boost. There's the Divine Shield, and there goes Tormented Souls, getting damage all over the place. We do have the Bunker being dropped. APOC going out, hits 2-1-ish, but the Unstoppable being procced on Grendel. Blaze in the backline trying to get the damage out, but Dragon Queen getting the work done. And even with those low health bars, ultimately it is the 2 kills in favor of ReGen Nephalem. So ultimately the Divine Shield did allow them to get that for significantly longer. I don't know. I think that the combo potential that they had probably could have provided just as much value, because how are you going to kill Malthael if you're stunned for 5 seconds of AoE between 3 abilities? Frozen Punisher, as we do see that tissue regeneration is complete by Dahaka. 3 stacks out of 5 for Hanzo. About halfway for Blaze, roughly, on his oil stacks, and he does bait the Punisher over, passing the Living Bomb over to Larson. And both Malthael and Dahaka in their respective solo lanes charge in onto the Uther, is getting pulled back and pummeled by the Punisher, tries to make it to the bunker but just can't quite get there before Maiev brings him down. So this is going to be a second fort for ReGen Nephalem, looking very strong as they get level 13. They're going to head down here, work on this camp. I'm just going to give them a little bit of pressure in the mid lane, and then I expect to see them head down and start working on that bottom fort as well. Yeah, I kind of agree, Monkus. I think that Combustion also would have been valuable. I think that was a response pick to the fact that Kael'thas had not taken his ult, and they were worried about the potential for a Pyroblast. Yeah, but you're double support, and you've got an Uther. I think that you make that work. You know, force them into the Pyroblast, and then, use the Uther to keep the Ana alive, and just go nuts. If you're going to take this kind of comp, I think you have to go all into it. And right now they've got kind of a half defense, half offense scenario, and I'm concerned that that is not going to work for them. No idea. I don't know if they've run this style of comp before. So, yeah. And we're seeing a little bit of back and forth here. Red team, ReGen Nephalem, kind of looking like they wanted to go for their Shaman camp, but electing to not do so. They're instead going to start working on pressure in the bot lane, as ReGen Blue coming up toward the top, seemingly kind of making almost the same waffling decision that ReGen Nephalem did, where they were not sure about going to their camp. And ReGen Blue maybe looking originally to go try to get the Dahaka, but instead they're going to clear up this lane and soak the bottom lane pressure coming in. The bunker doesn't have a whole lot of health. I mean, it does have a fair amount, but let's see, with my MKT, or does it just burn through bunker? And they're gonna go ahead and hold that shaman camp for a bit, as the next Punisher is in the bot lane, but ReGen Blue coming in, maybe forcing them to cap that, maybe not. Diablo's gonna get the charge, look for the follow-up charge any moment now here. There's the Warden's Cage, and APOC going in is going to get prevented mostly by the bunker. So ultimately, 2 ults to 4 ults. Blaze charging away is gonna pass that Living Bomb over to Malthael. And now we're gonna have the next Punisher, Mortar Punisher, in the bot lane. Both teams now should have their shaman camp going for the shrine, because of the occasional catapults coming out for Arrogant Nephalem. That slightly will favor them, and of course the shaman will make it farther in the lane. But getting started are Arrogant Nephalem on this point. Now keep an eye out here, because this is where ReGen Blue wants to make their play happen. As Dragon Queen getting popped, Malthael taking the damage, getting caught. Here goes the Tormented Souls. I can't quite tell if he's got the Nano Boost as well, but he is moving around rather swiftly with that level 1 talent. They don't get a kill though, so a little bit harder for them now to win this fight, as Dakilden taking a bunch of damage. Blaze pops that bunker, but Uther down in the bot tries to get away from Diablo, does, and the kill onto Dahaka, but ultimately Blaze is going to go down as well. Dakilden very low. Alex Rosen not able to provide a whole lot of healing, but now with the level 16 talent on the Living Bomb, it's allowing that Flame Strike to get procced off of every... Did I say Flame Strike? Anyways, allows the Flame Strike to proc a Living Bomb if you get hit by it. So look for that basically free damage coming out. And oh geez, the charge onto Larson gets a whole lot of damage. And that's going to be another Punisher going over to Arrogant Nephalem. ReGen Blue has got to find a way to make these team fights not quite so long, if they can help it, because the damage potential, the lockdown potential, is pretty well in favor of Arrogant Nephalem at this point. So they've got to find a way to get that kill using the myriad of CC and stuns that they have on their team, and not spread those living bombs. So there's the charge in, is going to be the Apocalypse, and Mongoose does use, I think, Pyromania to get that. Well, he doesn't have that, so he got Unstoppable from somewhere else. There, oh, probably from Uther. Divine Shield going out, keeping Mongoose alive. But now the Punisher going to town on Jason. We do see Kime still in the top lane, so that was a 4 versus 5 in that whole fight. Level 16 is not quite available for ReGen Blue, but coming up here soon. And a nice camp invade from Arrogant Nephalem, as they have those level 16 talent advantage and know exactly where Blue is, so they can start to work on all of these camps. And level 16 now available for ReGen Blue. Thought there was something I was going to look at. Oh, so for those of you who haven't been paying attention to what's going on the PTR, one additional little thing that they're bringing back into the game is an on-fire player mode. But there goes Diablo charging in onto the Blaze. Does get the Hand of Protection to keep him safe, but the jet propulsion interrupted by Gravity Lapse. Shadow charge in onto Uther, hits the wall, but is able to walk away. Anyways, they're bringing back on fire on the players, so you'll actually see an indicator on the players now, not just up in the top of the screen. And Mongoose lighting some fire here, slowing the team down from coming through. And Arrogant Nephalem is going to go ahead and back away. Brendel maybe had an idea they could be coming his direction, so electing to back away a little bit. All right, so teams splitting up here. Nephalem, some looking at the camp, some looking at the top lane, and realizing that they're very close to level 20, saying, you know what, that's cool. Let's get our level 20s, and then we'll come in and fight. Some damage, though, going out here, and there's Dekilden coming in onto the Grendel. He's going to get the jet propulsion in, uses Vault of the Wardens, the bunker going down, and all of those ults that I talked about earlier, spreading that damage from the Malthael. But this time, Dahaka is going to chase down the Uther in the upper left of your screen there. He's trying to stay alive. Mongoose going back to help, but Grendel trying to stay on that Diablo, maybe get that kill. Ultimately going to back away, but Dahaka pulls Mongoose in, so no deaths from either team. That is not the situation you want to be in if you are ReGen Blue at this moment, as level 21, or I'm sorry, level 20's coming online. We see that flamethrower, the upgraded cleansing flame, contagion from Dahaka, Hellgate from Diablo, giving him that teleport and the extra APOC section there, and whichever shadow orb that is. Which one is that? Shadow Strike. Slow and reduced armor. There you go. That'll get somebody killed pretty quickly. Yeah, right? Wow. Nobody died. That was pretty tight. I mean, that was a really questionable call, I think, on behalf of ReGen Nephalem. They were in some ways lucky that they did not die there. So we do have some of the ultimates available for both sides. Dragon Queen popped as at the very beginning of this. Tether coming in, pulling Fox into the backline there on the Uther, but Fox is gonna get caught and go down. There's a level 18 to 20 fight as loads of damage going on to ReGen Nephalem, but Mongoose is gonna be the next kill. And with that, all of a sudden, 2 kills to none. ReGen Nephalem pretty happy with the place that they are right now. They've got almost the full shrine. And ReGen Blue coming down here, trying to get the soak out of this lane. It's the only place they can get XP safely. As the Frozen Punisher coming in, this is 100% a keep. And it could very well be game. That being said, we're only at 19 minutes. We got another 13 minutes to go. Don't go anywhere, chat. We're in this together. Absolutely, John Knight, it does. I have felt that sting one or more times. All right, ReGen Blue, 5 members on the board. 18 to 21, actually. Punisher is at 80%-ish health, and there goes the APOC. This is the fight of your game life, of your match life. Kime taking loads of damage, pops his essence though. Grendel going out with the Tormented Souls, gets stunned, is trying to get what he can out there, has the Divine Shield, trying to find somebody to put damage on, but this Punisher is still at half health. The jet propulsion doesn't hit anybody, but Segatai getting a little low. Kime also low, and these health bars are starting to go down, but unless they get somebody killed, it doesn't matter. The Hellgate going out. Again, low health bars. They do get the first kill onto Dahaka, maybe the Diablo as well. They do. The Souls are going to bring him back. The Punisher is at 15% health. It will not be able to finish the core, but it is probably going to get some damage in. We see the living bombs going out, getting spread there, causing some chaos. Alexstrasza is going to get caught. A little bit of a split timer on those deaths now, as 60 seconds for Alexstrasza. And reminiscent of game 1, ReGen Blue finding some life at the core when their backs are against the wall. And now the camp invades begin. All right, Malthael in the bot lane. We do see the kill onto the keep. So once again, just like on the Tomb of the Spider Queen, the mid keep left alive for ReGen Blue. And that's it. That's their only way, only lane that they don't have constant pressure in. ReGen Nephalem up here in the top lane, pushing that lane out, clearing that camp. They've got Alexstrasza coming in 3 seconds. What do we got going on up here? Go core, don't get camps. ReGen Blue, when you watch this back later, I just want to point out that chat has quite clearly indicated that you should have gone core. Obviously, there's a keep in the way still, but you know, stuff and things. But let's take a look at those level 20s again. So we did get the upgraded bunker. Malthael not taking his ultimate yet, likely waiting to see if he ends up needing that. What is it? No One Can Stop Death, I think it's called. We've got the play of the game, Redemption, and what is that? Armored oh, interesting. Okay, so the jet propulsion in, as well as a sleep dart coming in. Silence is going out. Does he make it in? He does. Uther gets into the bunker, but not a whole lot of health there. Blaze coming in, jet propulsion on Dahaka. They're trying to get the Dahaka killed, and they do, but Fox is very low, goes down, but he's gonna be coming back in just a minute. But the lanes are pushed up. They got the kill, but maybe not quite enough to get pressure under a keep. The naughty C word? I'm sorry, my bad. I shouldn't say camp on stream. Oh, I did it again. Yeah, I mean, he took that movement speed though, right? So I mean, he has the ability to chase people down in short bursts, as opposed to chasing them down in long bursts, I guess. I don't know. What does this level 20 Tormented Souls do? I see it so infrequently. Yeah, okay. Ooh, oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Refreshing that duration, adding the 2 seconds. I don't know that that helps them because I don't feel like they get those kills, but Hanzo all the way back. This is going to be the fight for Arrogant Nephalem as Grendel getting caught by the Diablo is going down low. Hanzo coming in with play of the game. Grendel getting so much healing. I don't even understand how that's happening. He's got those Qs just going crazy. And Segatai diving right back in, gets the auto grenade and goes down, does not have souls. He is out of this fight. Killidan is going to get healed up by the W from Alex Straza. And once again, ReGen Blue getting a single kill, which allows them to stay in this game. 39-40. They're going to get their first Punisher of the game. They're going to start picking up camps. I assume that Hanzo's going to try to protect this keep. He is. Probably will even clear out the bot lane after this. All right, folks. We're 24.5 minutes into this game. We've got approximately 7.5 minutes to go before we get to an actual core call from either team. JK, we got 2% on the core from Arrogant Nephalem. They got some damage in there. So Dragon Arrow once again available for that play of the game, allowing Hanzo to come into the fight when called for. And the Punisher now jumping over, getting that damage out. I think it was onto Alex Straza. I don't remember. But again, you cannot discount the flamethrower value here, especially with that additional range. And we've got a 4 versus 5 here. They got to be really careful about that flame strike. Segatai, they're working on that Punisher. The Punisher is very low here. Bunker going out. And the flame strike is going to bring it down pretty quickly here. The keep still alive. It has about 25% of its health. Jet propulsion in, Kime very low, is going to go ahead and burrow, use that essence to get popped up to full, and they don't get the keep. Yep. So now, where's that sonic arrow there, Hanzo? There it is. And now we see the teams coming in. And this is where it gets, this is the problem, this is the throw pit right here. Warden's Cage going out. We do see the Cleansing Flame, I believe, popping off. Segatai is getting so much healing here. Mongoose is in danger, trying to get himself some healing from his oil, but nothing's on fire. There's the Divine Shield. Uther is walking away. Malthael did not take, no, he didn't, of course. He took the upgraded Tormented Souls, so now the 1 kill in the other direction, and now Arrogant Nephalem not taking a page out of ReGen Blue's book. They're saying, you know what, we got the kill onto your guy. We're going for the core. And we'll see if they can make this happen. They've got the potential to make it work as the bunker coming out. Blaze is right in the middle of a whole lot of red health bars, gets the unstoppable jet propulsion, so he's slowing things down, getting some damage. Hanzo getting that flame strike, passing the bombs. And the core starting to take shield damage. Flip onto Fox, the shadow charge in, he's making it out of the fight. And Malthael now coming in. There's the big Dragon's Arrow. Loads of damage coming out from Larson as Mongoose going down. Segatai flips over and they manage to get the kill onto Uther, but Kael'thas will go down. And now Grendel with the Tormented Souls trying to get the dot damage out onto this team. Killadin very low, so this could be a problem if he can get that Ray Strike out there. Does not. No Pointer also low health, but the dot damage kills him. And now everybody on the side of Eric and Nephalem has almost no health. They only need a couple of hits to finish these people. No Pointer trying to Hearth, but the percent damage takes Alexstrasza out. Only Kime makes it out alive as Diablo back on the map with souls. What is happening? Oh, I know. I told you what's happening. We're only 28 minutes into this game. It's not ready to be won or lost yet. What is Diablo? What is Diablo thinking he can solo the core? Uh-oh. Wow. I don't yeah. The retreat call being pinged there. ReGen Blue getting this camp, getting the mid camp, so they'll have some pressure going, although of course the mid lane is very much pressured out. And I don't know that I like this position for Grendel. 3 versus 1. Grendel may be throwing the game right now as he does get the isolation. He has no way to come back, and that death alone might be the end of this game. Nothing going on right now, just lane pressure. Alexstrasza now back. We've got Hanzo coming up, so a 5 versus 4 is what this is going to be, and they don't have Malthael, and that's a lot of their damage. There goes the Hanzo arrow, big stun. Fox pops the Divine Shield onto himself, and we do see Segatai about half health there. Mongoose trying to keep the team zoned out, is doing a pretty good job. Low health bars from all the damage going out there, but that living bomb being spread from the flame strike. And now the Punisher going over to Eric and Nephalem, and I believe that we will watch this Punisher walk up to this core, and that should be GG. Monkus supposed to be the chosen one, indeed. And there goes the leap onto Grendel as he is back for this fight, but they have no Blaze. Pull in onto Malthael, the flip charge, he's all by himself now, popping the Tormented Souls, trying to get as much value out of his self-healing as possible, but of course the team just walks away. Jason getting some damage onto the Punisher as Ana. But 65, 60%, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is going to be the end of game number 2 in favor of Eric and Nephalem, and it is. Ladies and gentlemen, another 30-minute game coming out from Eric and Nephalem and ReGen Blue. I'm gonna go hop into a channel and see if I can get maybe the captain of Eric and Nephalem to come over and join me for a quick interview. Post in chat, have you got questions? What do you want to know from the captain or their representative of Eric and Nephalem? Let's see, who is the captain? 772 lobby. Enter B. So GG, Eric and Nephalem taking the 2-0 victory over ReGen Blue. What do we got going on here? Hit the core, hit and core. Oh my goodness. See if we can get somebody out here. Was there a gentleman's agreement? Yeah, about not... Yeah. That's entirely possible. They didn't tell me about it if they did. Trabe, welcome to the chat.
Hey, glad to be here.
Congratulations on your victory. How does
Thank
it
you.
feel?
It feels good. We two very, very stressful games with a couple of big losses in the past couple days looming over us. Good to go out there and break through and get a win finally.
Well, that was quite an entertaining set. The first game was 32 minutes. Your second game was 30 minutes. I believe, I asked chat, what questions do you guys want to ask? And the number one question from chat is, do they know what the core is, or something along those lines?
Well, we have a game plan that tends to work. We schedule our games as late as possible, and then we drag them out. And then if they have anyone in like Central Time or East Coast Time, they get so tired, it's a huge competitive advantage for us.
As an East Coast caster, I appreciate you making me stay up as late as possible.
Oh yeah, of course. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays and all the best possible times that we could schedule them as well.
Absolutely.
We're very generous in that regard.
So let's talk about that Tomb of the Spider Queen game. It was back and forth about as much as possible. There were moments where it looked like you guys could win. There were moments where it looked like they could win. Ultimately, I was looking for a coin just to call it, because it seemed like that was about where it was going. But you guys had that core down to 40, I think 42%. You had it to 82%, and then they kind of forgot that it was being attacked and got a free 40% out of it. So what were you guys looking for? Because in both games, you had moments where you were like, let's go for the core, and then you had to kind of say, maybe this wasn't the best idea. Like, what are your comms like? What's going through your head when you're making those calls to do the core and then realize that, hey, maybe this wasn't the greatest idea?
We were definitely pretty anxious to go out there. Like, once you get 25 minutes in, you're sort of looking for a chance to end the game whenever you get it. But we've been getting punished pretty hard recently for overextending in situations like that. So I think in previous situations, we might have just dove in and gone for it and said, that's, we're going to go out there and take this core down and then get like 20% and get team wipe. So we were a little more ready to back off. We also had pretty heavy kind of ult combos in both games. And so, if in the Tomb game, if we went in there and I throw out a Wailing Arrow or Leoric does the Entomb and we don't catch anyone, maybe it's time to leave. Even if the core is at 40% and the fight really hasn't started yet, maybe we don't actually want this fight anymore. We've been trying to work on our communications and, being a little more cognizant of where our team stands. So making sure to do that and call out, hey, I messed up. We need to go. Sorry, team. Sometimes you got to do it. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Sure. And, so I got to point out Kime because just because Kime was kind enough to, or somebody was kind enough to remind me how to say his name, although, I had it down. I've done this once or twice with you guys. But I got to call out the whiffed Entombs, Entomb being the best skill to miss a couple of times there. We did it plenty on ReGen Red last season. So when those Entombs miss, like, how quickly is that okay, we have to change and we can't do this anymore, especially at level 20?
Yeah, especially at 20, as scary and, their team can turn on us and blow us up in about 4 seconds if we mess up our engage. And so, like, our big way to deal with an Anubarak and an Alarak in our face are those two silences that we have. And mine is not exactly reliable because I don't know how to aim skill shots. So if the Entomb doesn't land, that's pretty much a sign that if this fight can become not a fight, we should probably take that step, even if that means maybe giving up boss, giving up a turn in. I think we had, what was it, like Sylvanas Raynor or something? We had something with really, really strong clear. We knew that their push wasn't incredible with, an Alarak and that. So we knew we can defend better than we could go into a team fight without a way to deal with their big explosive potential. So if it means that we have to back off and maybe lose a keep or two, then better to do that than lose the whole game from getting a little bit greedy.
For sure, for sure. And you guys did have the capability to just melt any particular hero. It was oftentimes a Nubarak that came in on that game with Raynor and Sylvanas. And, I think that was the reason in that Tomb game that when they got the kill onto Stukov and Leoric, that they didn't just come win the game, because you had so much burst potential to kill really just about anybody on their team except for maybe that Chen, that they felt they couldn't end the game, which of course led to them trying to do a boss play, which led to them not being able to do the boss play, which led to you guys winning the game. So, draft matters, right? Really helped you guys to secure that victory. And then, of course, in the second game, and there are a few times where I called out the timer, and I was like, guys, they're not ready to win yet. It's only 16 minutes into the game. We still have, 14 to 16 minutes to go, or whatever it was. So, and you guys were close. You had 30 minutes. First game was 32. So, in that second game, you guys, if I remember correctly, selected the map for the second game, yeah? For Infernal Shrines?
Yes, I believe that's right.
And so you see this, as you guys are drafting, you have what I would call a relatively kind of standard comp. The only thing that was kind of questionable was, of course, the Alexstrasza into the Ana, but even that, you play around it, right? And you see what they're drafting. Like, at the beginning of that game, what are you talking about to make sure that you're successful in this game?
I think you're right, definitely, that we weren't necessarily expecting those last picks to come in like they did. But luckily, we were able to pretty quickly identify that, this is a all-in Tormented Souls, Malthael, Uther, Blaze Bunker to deal with the Maiev Circle of Death. Like, their picks are weird, but they make sense. It was clear they had a plan. They knew what they were going to try to do in fights and how they were going to counter us. So we weren't super taken off guard when Tormented Souls got picked, and in the first couple fights, we sort of knew how they were going to go. And I don't know that we had an incredible, great way to deal with it. But when you have Kael'thas and Maiev and Dahaka and Diablo, you just sort of say, well, hopefully someone will get out of position. And if that does, great. And if that doesn't, well, Maiev will go in and we'll make somebody get out of position, and then we'll go from there. There were, I think, every fight was our comms was, why won't this Malthael die, or why won't this Blaze die, or whoever we're hitting, for some reason they're still alive.
There was a fight over that bottom shrine that it was like Malthael versus the world, and his health bar just goes from like 80% to 20% to 80% like 3 times, and I'm like, who's healing him? Because that's not Uther, it's not Ana. Oh, that's right, it's just Malthael doing Malthael things.
Their entire team making our lives as difficult as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of healing and sustain, and we also have a heck of a lot of burst damage and isolation. So it was just sort of, eventually we're going to land the drag on them, or we're going to land isolation on them, or we're going to hit him with the wall stun, or somebody will figure out a way to make this darn Malthael stop moving, I pray, and then we can figure out what to do from there. And I'm just going to sit in the back and kind of put living bombs and wait for one of the people with CC to handle the situation.
Sure. And ultimately, that game, goes on for a while. You guys, the first game was 16 kills to 10 against you. You still won. The second game, 11 kills to 15 in your favor. Overall, fairly low-scoring games if you consider how long those games go. You guys had a lot of engages where nobody died, or maybe only one person died, and you walk away, or they walk away, whatever it is. But ultimately, the end of that game, how much of a celebration do you guys have when you realize that Malthael's alone by himself on that control point at the top?
I personally saw the Ana coming up, and I'm bad at judging the mini map, so I was just panicking like, oh, this Ana's gonna get there, and they're gonna cast Nano Boost, and this dude's gonna 1v5 our whole stupid team again. So I was not celebrating at all, because I was just a little ball of stress. But luckily, the tanks who have the CC and decide what the engages are, were all yelling at us, no, please go kill this guy. Why are you running away? No, please, we can do this. And I've learned to follow in the tanks when they move in on somebody, because they're going in whether I'm there or not. So I might as well be there to follow up with some damage.
As a tank player, yes, we do. Well, hey, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining me. Before we go, we're the last match of the night. Feel free to take a moment and shout out anybody you'd like to say hello to.
Yeah, shout outs to Beast Coast, our sort of sister team over in B East. They've been absolutely killing it this season. They had to do some recruiting, bring in some new people, and they're a good team. I think we scrimmed them in the past, and usually when we scrim them, it's like, oh, I think this will be even. You know, we know how they play. We know what they do. I don't really want to scrim them this season. We haven't. I'm not super inclined to set one up. Hopefully we'll see them in the Div B finals, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be there for Div B East. And then just, shout outs to our subs who luckily stepped up. We had to pull in all 3 of them last week for a super sub combo game. I'm really glad that they're around and available, even if they aren't playing HOTS all that much these days. It's always good to have people you can rely on to jump in when we need them. So thanks to those guys.
Absolutely, and it makes life a lot easier for the div mods when we don't have to deal with a last minute sub request. Obviously,
I can imagine.
Thank you for that. Great, thank you again, Trabe. How you guys doing on your flex matches?
This is our 2nd flex match, I believe. So we got one more to schedule. But we got 4 weeks, so hopefully the div mods won't get too mad at us.
Excellent. No, you're doing great. You got out of an 8-week season, this is week 4. You've got 2 done. That's fantastic. So everybody out there in chat land that remains in this late night game or watching this later, take a page from the Arrogant Nephalem, and I think ReGen Blue also had 2 or so. Get those flex matches done, not just for the div mods, but also for us casters, because it if the number of games balloons from about 45-ish per week to suddenly 70. We're not going to be able to keep up at 100% casting like we have been able to so far. So help us to help you to make sure that you guys all get covered. And Trabe, you guys are doing fantastic. I wish you the best of luck in the rest of your season.
Yeah, thank you for casting. Thanks for sticking around into the late night with us. And maybe we'll see you guys around sometime.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our stream tonight. Quite a wild ride with these 2 teams. 32-minute game, 30-minute game, Tomb of Spatic Ring, Infernal Shrines. Ultimately, the 2-0 victory going over to Arrogant Nephalem as they succeed in winning the Kill the Core game. But that's it for us tonight here. If you'd like to check out my schedule, let me pop that up for you here just real quick. I think it's on my other page, though. So the rest of this week here, I've got a match coming up on Thursday between the Real Ultimate Mosh Pit versus Buff Chen in B East. We also have on Friday Bloodbath and Beyond versus Disturbance, the D West game. And then on Sunday, of course, the weekly Sunday replay. So some of these games that maybe don't get cast throughout the week will be brought back to you on Sunday. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure. You all have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.